Yeah, hi everybody. Here in Eugene, Oregon with Pete. We picked up Pete in the on-ramp at Salem. And his doggaroo. Say hi to camera. Right.
And in the death, as the last few corpses lay rotting on the slimy thoroughfare, the shutters lifted an ancient temperance building high on Poacher's Hill, and red, mutant eyes gazed down on Hunger City. No more big wheels. Fleas the size of rats sucked on rats the size of cats, and 10,000 peopleoids split into small tribes, coveting the highest of the sterile skyscrapers like packs of dogs assaulting the glass fronts of Lovely Avenue, ripping and re-wrapping Lincoln's shiny silver frocks, now leg warmers, family badge of sapphire and cracked emerald. Any day now, the gear for diamond dogs.
This ain't nothing, no! This is genocide! Skyline, sky made of glass, made for a real world. All things must pass. Looking for someone. Is there no reason? Have I stayed too long? Say you'll leave me.
French authorities have now banned big marches during the UN climate talks in Paris. Climate organizers and environmental leaders are scrambling to reassess their approach. But many events will go on as planned, including Pathways to Paris, the concert being headlined by Tom York of Radiohead, Patti Smith, and others. The motives of the French government are questionable. Prior to the attacks, the French government had already come under fire for restricting immigration during the month of the climate summit, as well as denying visas to activists arriving for the demonstrations. The Group of Seven, or the G7 as they are more commonly known, are an informal coalition of industrialized democracies, with nations including the United States, Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, and the United Kingdom. In June of this year, they announced that they agreed to phase out the use of fossil fuels and be 100% renewable for all purposes by the end of the century. That will be too late and alive. The latest research from Professor Mark Jacobson of Civil and Environmental Engineering at Stanford University shows us that we have technological capability to be 100% renewable in 20 to 30 years, by mid-century, not by the end of the century like our leaders meaninglessly say. He has made plans at world level, US level, and state level. Washington and New York states are currently undergoing Professor Jacobson's plans. It would take about 150,000 wind turbines to power the entire United States for all purposes, including transportation, electricity, heating and cooling, and industrial processes. And about 500,000 wind turbines to power the entire world. We built 330,000 aircraft for World War II in 5 years. Why can't we build 500,000 wind turbines for our collective planet? You know why. You're in a living nightmare and there is no collective planet. Many believe that we are in the midst of a horrific turning point, or Volta. I'm sure you've heard of it nonchalantly said a dozen times by now. The ice caps are melting. It is time for Ferdinand the Bull to stop smelling the flowers, or there won't be any flowers left to smell. To lay down the iron law, when you're in a hole, stop digging. No more new oil infrastructure. To us here in Oregon, that means that the already approved Jordan Cove LNG project in Coos Bay. Do you want to buy energy from oil corporations waging war on life on Earth? No. Or can you see communities collectively controlling their own renewable energy? Yes. Keeping the profits in the community to pay for services, enriching our lives. Yes. I'm talking about reversing the privatization of our energy systems. Yes. Renewable energy is free. Wind, water, and solar are free. Yes.
Jesse. Let's make it greener, make it cleaner, make it last, do it fast and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future, and we need to start right now. So are you still waiting or hesitating? Let the wise and do it now, now, now. We need to build a better future, and we need to start right now. You know what? We need to get you singing a little bit louder, so we're going to do the first verse one more time. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Everybody ready to sing?
Ready.
All right, then what are the first words? Huh? I don't know. What are the first words? We need to rise up. We need to open our eyes and do it. Now, now, now. We need to build a better future, and we need to start right now. We need to build a better future, and we need to start right now. Thank you. Thanks for singing along.
Right now we're going to hear from Laurie Dougherty. She's somewhere in the crowd, I understand. Laurie's the one who started the Salem chapter of the National 350.org. Here's Laurie.
Hi everyone, can you hear me? Yeah. Welcome, it's a beautiful, beautiful day. I guess it's not kind of an Oregonish day, it's more like a fun New England winter day, like what I grew up with, but anyway, I think it's a beautiful day. So glad to see everybody here. We are part of a global movement. The people have been doing this around the world by the hundreds, by the dozens, by the thousands. Started Friday night, which was actually Thursday here in Melbourne, Australia, where 60,000 people marched, and they've been marching all over the place. I'm going to circulate some photos. I just pulled some random photos off the internet when there people are uploading their events. We'll be doing that with ours. And you'll be able to go on the 350.org website and find, all the events around the world and putting us someplace in there. I'd like to ask everybody to please sign in. There's a sign-up sheet on the table over there. Please sign in with the 350 Salem website, sign-up sheet, because we would like to keep track of you. A lot of groups have been promoting this and advertising, and we'll be asking you to, look at them. But please sign ours so that we can keep in touch. Nancy Filer will be later on talking about next steps, what our plans are going forward, and we need people involved in all kinds of ways. We light involvement, heavy involvement, whatever you feel you can do once you're on board. There's also these beautiful baguettes over there that Linda Walmart made, and what we would like you to do there is to write out your wishes, your hopes, what you would like to see for a healthy climate, for a better world. I don't know what we're going to do with them. Maybe take a picture and send them off to the big events and everything. But they're right over there. And also take a flyer. There are some flyers on that table over there that says who we are, what we're doing. Bathrooms are in the Carousel building. Those are the only ones I know about that are open, this time of year. But there are some in there. So what are we doing here? We are gathering as our people all over the world because tomorrow in Paris, the United Nations is convening one of their periodic conferences around climate change, and every few years, all the world governments get together and try to forge an agreement, a commitment that people all over the world can come to. Not every country makes the same commitment. Some countries are very wealthy and have used up a lot of the fossil fuels in the world already, contributed to global warming. Some countries have done very little and need help to be able to, modernize their electrical system, to even get an electrical or energy system. So there are different ranges of things that countries do. You'll see a lot of controversy about whether the goals are doable, whether they're too little, too late, whether the countries are, doing what they need to do in order to even meet the goals they've set for themselves. We're not here to resolve those issues. They're complicated, and you'll see a lot of stuff in the news about that. What we're here to do is to say to the people there, or in the world government, we want you to get serious. We want you to make a difference around the climate. We want you to get off of fossil fuels onto renewable energy and do it as fast as possible. This is about the political will. We are trying to show them that the people want this and we want them to do it. Why do we say climate justice? Because the people most harmed and most affected and who will have the least resources to adapt and recover from disasters like more violent storms, longer droughts, fires, floods, all those things in this country and around the world are the poor and marginalized people. You looked at what happened after Katrina. There will be more storms like Katrina. After Hurricane Sandy in New York, one of the wealthiest cities in the world, where the poorer neighborhoods, some of them have still not been made whole, after that several years ago. In other countries like Bangladesh that are very low-lying areas or island nations, places where there's been lots of drought and flooding, it's the poorer, the most vulnerable people that get hurt the worst and have the hardest time recovering and have done the least to cause the problem. We also talk about climate justice because even getting to a renewable energy future is going to disrupt communities, disrupt jobs, and we need to be able to help the people who have to change their lives, change their living arrangements and things like that. That a lot of unions are talking about that. They started talking about it in the 90s in terms of some of the more polluting industries, and they're reviving the idea now of a just transition. Indigenous communities are bringing that idea forward, and it's something that we need to think about. These are hard questions, they're complicated questions, but if we really, really do them, they touch so much of our lives that we have actually a chance to get it right, to change economies, societies, relationships, to build in more equity and more fairness and more respect and inclusion, if we do this right. That's why Naomi Klein called her book Changes Everything, because it touches so much that we can, if we address the things and we do them in a fair way and a serious way, we can change a lot of things, maybe even everything. Just one little thing about what 350 is and who we are and what, I don't know who's timekeeping me, but anyway, I have like one more, I have a little more thing. 350 is a number that scientists have said is the safe limit of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere to maintain a stable climate, because carbon dioxide retains heat, within the atmosphere. The sunlight comes in, but the heat doesn't go out as much as it used to. 350, now we're actually at 400, parts per million now, we're above that, but 350, the organization, took that as, the scientific basis and said we need to build a movement in order to make this happen. We're not the experts, but we're the people that can say to the experts, get it done. 350 started in Vermont. Bill McKibben, the author, and some students at Middlebury College started it with a walk to Robert Frost's home about 7 or 8 years ago. And they used the internet, just beautifully, and they said, okay, come on, people, get out there and do this with us. And so all around the world, people started doing things like this. And then after people had been doing it and getting to know each other and, being involved in other things in the community, people started forming chapters and, regional networks and stuff like that. And so that's what we are. We're part of we have a chapter here in Salem, and I hope you'll look into getting involved with us. And we're part of a global organization that is really trying to build a global movement. And if you look at the pictures on 350.org and go there and look at the pictures on that website of the people out in the world that are doing this, you will be so amazed and inspired.
But it's time to introduce the stars of the show, which are the young people. So I would like to introduce Wesley Georgiev, Karina McWilliams, and Sage Fox. They are the 3 new leaders of the new South Eugene High School Club. It's called Earth Guardians 350 South. And let's see, I've known these guys for a long time, and I just want to say I love them. I've been neighbors with some of them. We've had soccer groups with some of them. And these 2 are sophomores, and Sage here is a senior, and I think the rest, you just need to hear straight from them. Thank you for welcoming them.
Welcome, everyone. It's great to see you here all at the march. Thanks to all of you, Eugene has become a national hub for climate change action. In our town, we care deeply about our planet and its future, and we realize the urgency of this issue and the task in front of us. We know we have a right to clean air. We know we have a right to clean water. And we know that we have a right to a positive future. South Eugene high schoolers agree. At our school, there has always been widespread awareness around climate change and no shortage of care for the issue, but the school had long lacked a club to serve as the face of student environmental activism. This year, my friends and I created a club called Earth Guardians 350 to organize and empower students to take climate action. The name combines two different organizations working for the same goal. Earth Guardians is a youth-based group in Boulder, Colorado, aimed to empower youth. 350 is an organization started in 2008 which campaigns online, creates grassroots groups, and starts mass public action. This club provides fellow students an outlet to express their opinions and take their futures into their own hands. Together, we educate ourselves at our weekly meetings, write letters to the editors supporting climate legislation, participate in local events like today, and testify before the City Council in support of city climate action, for example, the implementation of the Climate Recovery Ordinance. We are proud to have our club here today and be a part of this march. We are especially excited to know that on Monday morning, the video we make today of our march and art project will play for world leaders on a huge screen as they work into the COP21 climate conference. We're going to show them that Oregon demands climate solutions.
So why are we doing this? Why are we all here? Global warming is no longer only the future generation's problem. Already in Oregon, we are beginning to see the direct effects of climate change. This year, more than 631,000 acres burned on forest land jurisdictions due to increases in temperature.
Hey, could you maybe lead us into the clean energy future? Are you going to be bold like Governor, somebody calls the fine governor there? We don't want her to trip and break that big head. Hello! You know, Governor Inslee up in Washington, he just made some really bold moves to help the climate. Would you maybe tell us about your plans?
I would love to oppose the LNG frack gas pipeline, and I would love to embrace clean energy and renewable technology, but I need to hear from all Oregonians.
How about you hear from me since you're up for re-election?
That's tempting.
I don't know if you heard, she says that's a little bit tempting. So I'm gonna, I think you guys need to shout this guy off the stage here. Off the go. Okay. We need to hear from the kids.
that it's more important than ever for civil society to put pressure on their leaders to make sure they take responsibility. Well, here in Paris today, actually only 3 hours ago, we were on Place de la République where French people tried to do exactly that, and they were not allowed to protest and they were being tear gassed. 24 climate activists have been put under house arrest around France throughout the duration of the COP21, the UN climate talks, essentially to prevent them from doing any action.
This is just a nightmare. Soon I'm gonna wake up. Someone's gonna bring me round. Running from the bombers, hiding in the forest, running through the fields, laying flat on the ground, just like everybody, stepping over heads, running from the underground. This is your warning. 4-minute warning. I don't wanna hear it. I don't wanna know. I just wanna run and hide. This is just a nightmare. And soon I'm gonna wake up. Someone's gonna bring me round. This is a war.